Alrighty, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Dark Souls. When we last left off, we had just made our way through the Darkroot Basin and gotten all the way to the end of the Darkroot Garden, where there was a boss awaiting us. However, instead of fighting that boss, I recommended at the end of the last episode to come to Andre's bonfire because there is an item that we're going to be getting from him in order to make the boss a little bit more convenient to deal with. So, starting at the bonfire just above Andre, we're going to come down and speak to the man himself.
Well, hello again. You seem to be doing all right. Need anything forged?
And we're going to purchase an item from him, that item being the Crest of Artorias. So, I'm sure if you look at my souls meter, you'll notice I have significantly more souls than I did last time. Well, that's because I did a bit of off-screen grinding, just so that I could afford the Crest of Artorias, which costs 20,000 souls. Bit expensive, but just makes a convenient bonfire for the boss fight that's coming up. So, after buying that...
Get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
So, after buying that, we could now just make our way back towards the boss, but I want to spend some souls to try and see if I can upgrade my sword.
Well, you need it.
So, we're going to come to Reinforced Weapon. We're going to head to the Black Knight Greatsword, and with a piece of Twinkling Titanite, we're going to upgrade it to the Black Knight Greatsword +1. And for another Twinkling Titanite and another 2,000 souls, we can upgrade it yet again to the Black Knight Greatsword +2. And if we had... Ooh, honestly, you know? So, we can upgrade the Black Knight Greatsword for another 2,000 and another 2 Twinkling Titanite, and I have that, the Twinkling Titanite, and I just need a few more souls in order to afford it, so I'm probably just going to real quick grab those souls. Die. Alright, one more, come on. And there we go. Make our way back to Andre. Running and running. Alrighty. Getting back to Andre, let's get this to a Black Knight Greatsword +3. Yes, please. Ooh. 286 damage. That is very, very nice. Alrighty. So, now with a completely overpowered weapon, we're going to make our way back into the Darkroot Garden and take care of the boss of the area. Now, just to be super clear, you don't actually have to fight this boss now. You can save him for much later in the game if you want, especially because this boss will have a different intro cutscene depending on certain actions you take in the future. However, the actions that I'm speaking of involve the DLC, which you're not going to be ready for until well past the end game of the base game. So honestly, it's really inconvenient to try and save this boss until you've completed the DLC, especially on your first run. So So we're just going to be doing the easier thing this time and taking on the boss now instead of later. However, if you want to, because I'm sure many of you know who this boss is, if you want to, you can just save this boss for later and take him on after we've done the DLC for the extra cool cutscene. That being as it is, we've now rested out of that bonfire and set that as our respawn, and now we're going to come up to this door and use the Crest of Artorias to open it. And as you can see, we're now back into the Sacred Woods area where all of the members of the Hunters Covenant are. And by passing through this area, we're going to make a quick and easy path to the boss. Now, before we do go out there, I want to double check and make sure we haven't missed anything. I do know there's some item around here. Oh wow, that guy did not die from the first strike. Yes, over here. Okay, so over here there's a chest being guarded by these two bigger mushrooms. You want to be careful because these mushroom guys, they hit like trucks. Just like that. And they have got quite a lot of health, so these guys can be kind of difficult to deal with. Thankfully, their attacks are very slow and heavily telegraphed, so it's not too difficult to deal with them, or at least dodge their attacks. Do you have these smaller guys running around too? They're generally not as aggressive as the big guys. Whereas these guys punch you, those smaller guys, the only way they can really damage is if they trip on you. Ooh. For myself. Attack. Make sure to get that second hit. And go. Alright, now with those guys dealt with, we're going to open this. And we're going to find the Enchanted Ember. And the Enchanted Ember, pretty cool item, because it will allow us to make magic. It will allow us to ascend weapons, even, so that they deal magic damage instead of physical damage, which is pretty cool. Now, down there, we've got these cat enemies. Honestly, they're a big hassle to deal with, so I just ignore them. Although, I think there is an item over this way, yes. Lost Soul of Red Warrior. Yeah. Let's give him a shot, actually. So yeah, these are big cat guys. They look like bigger versions of Alvina. They're not the worst to deal with. They can just be kind of annoying. Especially just because there's two of them. And they can be pretty aggressive. Especially like that. Oh no, sorry, there's not two. There's three of them. And then they've got that rolling attack, which is just annoying to deal with. Ow. 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 Die. Ooh. That was a close one. Oh, almost have used up all my Estus already. Well, with them dead, as you can see over here, yeah, this is just another way to get up here from the Darkroot Basin. Honestly, going this way, never really been worth it. You just deal with these big cat guys. They're annoying to kill. They can do a lot of damage. So, it's just easier to go through the initial bonfire. So, we're going to homeward bone. And starting from here, we are first going to reverse our howling. Make ourselves human. And now, we're going to head right towards the boss. Yes, hello, forest strangers. Alright. Hi, Alvina. I totally just didn't kill your cousins or whatever they were. Alright. Running through the forest with the mushroom folk. Weird little guys. Alrighty. Just up there is the boss door. So, I'm gonna come around this way. Drop down. And make our way up to the grand doors. So that we can fight the saddest boss in this entire game. Oh, big doggo. How I must weep when we fight so. Yep, welcome to the most tragic boss in the entire game, ladies and gentlemen. Well, at least one of them. Big doggo. And he already almost killed me. Alrighty. Yeah, if you're not a scrub like me... Oh, Jesus. Yeah, if you're not a scrub like me, you shouldn't be struggling with this boss so much, but... still a little rusty. Yay. Alrighty. Oh, that was attempt number 1. Got like 0 damage on him. That is wonderful to see. Alright, I am going to switch things up. Let's see. Yes, let's switch to the shield. So, make things a tad little easier for me. I'm just going to be using an actually viable shield. Oh, that's right, but it doesn't matter because I can't use a shield. Because I have to two-handle this sword. Well, I have made this slightly unnecessarily harder than it has to be for myself. But whatever, we're gonna do it anyways. Alrighty. Making our way to the boss. Yeah, this is probably the most annoying part about the early Souls series. Whenever you die against a boss, you always have one hell of a walk back to the boss door. It's just so annoying. How? Nope, stop running away from me. There we go. Hit. Oh. Smacking me with his sword. This is the worst part about this boss. The more damage you deal to him, then he starts limping. Ah, there we go. Alrighty, second time's the charm. Ah, such a sad boss. Although, believe me, this boss gets 1,000 times sadder if you try and fight him after you do the DLC. Custom little cutscene, involves the story. We'll get to it when we get to it. Although, probably won't be seeing that cutscene in this playthrough, but I will be discussing it when we do get to the DLC. Anyways, main reason why we came and did that is because we get this little thing called the Covenant of Artorias from it. This is a ring that's going to be an absolute necessity for a later boss fight. Like, you literally cannot fight the boss without getting this item. So, it's just most useful to get it now. With that boss beaten, we're gonna make our way back through here. And we're gonna head right on back to the Darkroot Basin. Alright, let's see. Alright, I'm gonna try and just avoid fighting those cat things. See if I can. Oh no, they don't. Right, those guys are only a one-time spawn. I just forget enemies that are only just a one-time spawn in this game. Being fully honest, I don't even know why those guys are only a one-time spawn. Although, I suppose since they're not undead, they just don't respawn, so I suppose it technically makes sense. Although, to be fair, the mushroom people aren't really undead either, but they respawn. So, I don't know. That's like one of the few non-respawning enemies that I could never really grasp or just explain. They're kind of just there. It's a little weird, but whatever. Sometimes a game is just a game. Or who knows, maybe there's just secret lore about those cats that we haven't discovered yet. Alrighty. Now that we're back in the Darkroot Basin, right here, we're gonna kill these golems again, just because they're in the way. some extra souls. And now we're gonna make our way back up to where we fought Havel originally. Because we want to get ourselves back up to the Undead Burg. So, I'm gonna go this way. And up some more stairs. And up even more stairs. And exit through this door. And exit through this door. And as you can see, we are back in the Undead Burg. Now, we have two options we could go. We could head up this tower and make our way to the next area. However, we are kind of down on Estus and are in need of a bonfire. So instead, we're going to go the second way, which involves coming back to a bonfire. We kill these guys. Take their Titanite shard. We're going to kill these guys. Kill that guy before he can throw his firebomb. We're gonna run down and through here. Kill these guys. Super easy with the very big, very powerful Dark Knight Greatsword. We're gonna run. And we're gonna rest at this bonfire. Now, before we continue on, you probably have a lot of leftover souls from that boss fight that we just did, so we're gonna spend them. So, going to get my endurance up to 20. Going to level up my vitality more, try to get that to 20 as well. And with all of that set, now, from here, we're going to ascend this ladder, make our way up, and we're going to find ourselves on the bridge with the kite dragon again. Now, of course, the kite dragon... Oh! Yep, and he has just made his graceful return. Now, with the kite dragon being here, this is going to be a little tricky. You could go... Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get back to the area where we first met Solaire. Now, you could head back through the Undead Parish and go through that way, but this way is just faster, even though it's not necessarily any safer. So, we're just going to bait out an attack from the dragon. And we're going to sit here and wait until he decides to jump on down. Whenever he wants to do that. And now we're going to run. And run. And keep running. And he's going to try and follow us. But we're going to keep on running. And now we've made our way down here. And we're going to hide behind this wall so that his fire blast doesn't get us. Ow. Oh, mistake. This was also a mistake. Yep, this was quite the mistake. Ooh. We're just gonna wait for him to leave. Alrighty. And he's now officially lost interest in us, thankfully. So yeah, don't hide behind the wall like I did, like an idiot. Come down here. And maybe have a fun discussion with Solaire, and the dragon will lose interest. Anyways, so, Whole reason why we wanted to come back down here is because we got a key earlier in the game. At some point, I never remember exactly when we get this key, but anyways, with the key in our grasp, we're now able to unlock this door, the basement key. And through using this basement key, we're going to be making our way down into a brand new area. So, descend this very long ladder. Now we find ourselves in the lower Undead Burg. So this is still considered just part of the Undead Burg. It's not like a new named area, but it's just commonly known as the lower Undead Burg. From here, before we go adventuring out down there, we're gonna make our way up this secret staircase that's right by the entryway. Gonna come all the way up, and we'll find a door leading right into the room where where this initial little ambush is, and where these night dudes are. And from here, we're gonna recross this bridge and rest back at the bonfire. So we basically just made one big loop. But in doing so, we have now unlocked the lower Undead Burg, which is going to lead us to some new areas and some new NPC friends. And I think that is going to do it for us for today. Next time, we'll be venturing through the lower Undead Burg and potentially making our way into the sewers. And we're also going to be, most likely, taking on one of the most annoying bosses in this entire game. Hope to see you guys then, and thanks for joining me. Peace out.